Yo, it's FG, and I'm going to give you guys a little lesson on the VWAP. This is going to be a more in-depth, longer lesson because there's some ways that I've learned to describe everything that I think will help you. So the first step, or the first priority with this strategy, is that you want to look at your volume indicators. What are your volume indicators? The money flow and the VWAP line. Okay? And two, it's a two-step process. You're going to look at your directional indicators. These are the oscillators down below that I've separated from the money flow. These are the RSIs. The yellow VWAP oscillator. And the blue momentum wave. So what I've noticed is that the volume indicators need to tell you a story, because that indicates the magnitude of the move that's about to happen. And once you get the sniff that a big move might happen, then you start looking for a justification, a trigger to get you into the position. And that's where these guys come into play. Because the reality is that we want to look for big blobs of money flow, for big price movements. And we want to wait for price to gain support on the VWAP before big movements. And when that's happening, the waves almost always lead us in the right direction. But first we need to find the opportunity where the traders are coming in and the amount of money on the exchange is increasing. Because when there's more people trading, more money on the line, that's how we get the price moving up more. And so you're going to start with volume readings, and then you're going to go into the directional stuff. And just remember that with these blue waves, the blue waves are not an indication of magnitude. Divergences are somewhat an indication of magnitude. Like when you see the price coming up and the oscillator going down, you tend to see big moves there. So the directional indications can stack up so much that they do become convincing signals for large moves. But sometimes they don't play out the way you expect. And sometimes you might see a respectable divergence, and the price may respect it for a little bit, but then it goes against you, and a divergence may not play out because there are things that matter more than divergences, right? Like if the price is respecting the VWAP line, then you're not going to get a big wave. You're going to get stopped. You're going to get stopped short at a little trigger wave and then go back down. So, yeah. So, one little thing about the SR strategy that I want you guys to know, in lieu of all that other stuff, is that I want you to be mindful of stop losses being triggered. Because typically the market chooses a side, but then too many people get stacked up on that side. And so those people need to get stopped out. And once those people are stopped out, the true move can happen. And look what happened over here. We choose a side, we get stopped out, and then we go up. And the pattern actually continues. Up here, you can see that the price chooses a side. We stop them out. Oof, crash down. You can see that the price chose a side. We stop the people out. Boom. Price chooses a side. We stop them out. Boom. Price chooses a side. Oh, we got a daily reset. Every day at the daily candle, the Vwap shoots up and gives the other side a chance to take the reins. So on this daily reset, the bears took the price down started devaluing the asset. So we chose violence, right? So we stopped those people out, and then boom. This one was about as clean as they get, baby. So you come out, you choose a side, a strong tap of Vwap as support, and a strong move to the upside. And, you know, even when there's crazy stuff going on, like what happened in the last 24 hours with these wash wicks, which, by the way, this has nothing to do with the SR strategy, but the exchange will test your faith and your ability to call out what is fake and what is real. Like, if you see a gigantic wick, just like a random death wick, if you call that as a bold-faced lie and just long that and just assume that it's going to go back up to where it was, like, and you play into that fear that other people are feeling, that's a powerful, like, trade move that you could have in your toolkit, where it's still a small risk play. You know, it's still an amount that you could piss away, but at least you can say that you were able to see the lie when others didn't. But anyways, back to the SR thing. Even in this crazy price action, you can see how we choose a side, and then we stop out the other side, or we choose a side and then we stop out the weak hands, and then we go down. It just looks super gnarly. And then up here, look, we go up, choose a side, and then we stopping some people out, and then boom, we go up. And that looks super gnarly because we dumped right after, but do you see the pattern there? And so here we choose a side. We come up. We choose the side, and then we stop those people out. We come down. Actually, yeah, we're not done doing this. We're not done stopping people out. Like the most recent price action, this needs to ebb and flow a little bit. Let's see here. So, okay, so the price chooses a side. We stop out the weak hands. And then we go down. Even more. We go down like this. Yeah. Because that's the continuation of the pattern. Anyways, the 30-minute looking bad. Money flow is coming down. We're getting the volume indication that the money's leaving, or the negative volume, the bearish volume is increasing, I should say. Our RSIs fell below 60. VWAP crossed down. So I'd be looking actually for the price to fall below VWAP, because my inclination is that we chose violence, right? So we got to stop out the dingleberry bears who don't matter, and then we're going to go down. Now, how far down? If I look at the 30-minute here, this is like a slightly bigger scalp time frame. I see a massive divergence that's still barely even played out. The price went up, but the money flow dying off like that. And it is true that we could play around, and this could thin out over time, and we don't get that much volatility, but it's also possible that this, since it is increasing right now, this could get big. So, and looking at this previous wick, it's highly possible that we like do something like that, you know, because we came down like this. Bitcoin loves trumpet patterns, and look at that gigantic trumpet pattern right there that would form if we did some crazy shit like that. So it seems I guess like you can't even imagine it, but I don't know. I can see it with the pattern that we've been following. That being said, if we can build some traction on VWAP, and find a good this like since the price action's over VWAP now, the bulls are actually looking to value the asset to increase the value of this asset. But if we slip below VWAP, things can get very messy. So, right now the volume by VWAP standards is pretty neutral. It's like in neither side's court. And that's exemplified by our money flow, which is a little thin on this 5-minute time frame. So currently on the 5-minute, we're dealing with this scant money flow, this unconvincing money flow. I think a lot of people are, like a lot of traders are seeing these death wicks and they're saying, I don't want to trade. But these death wicks are actually opportunities. Like if you see yourself as a fighter in a video game, and if you push this button combo, you got this move, this button combo, you got that move. Add one of your moves that you do in the markets. Add this move, which is the bullshit check, you know? Like when you see some dumb stuff that doesn't make sense, that's scary. That's freaking you out, like this random like silly candle here. Just throw a little silly little short at that and like bet on that thing going back down or back up. Because you may feel scared, but you got to remember that other people are scared too. So trust your feelings. It's not about hiding your feelings. It's about really feeling them, but understanding that if you're feeling those feelings, other people are feeling them too. And how does that affect the price? How does that affect the sentiment? So, even though it's still looking hopeful here, I think that we're going to go down because, according to the pattern, we chose violence. So we're just stopping some people out before we go down more, even if it's just a little bit like that. So I love finding little short scalps like that. If I was just sitting around doing nothing, I would enter a short right here. Um, yeah. And that's it for today's lesson. My ass is getting sweaty. So I'm going to go take a little walk outside. And I hope you guys enjoy the valuable lesson. Ask me any questions below if there's anything you want to know more about. Definitely join the VIP Discord and get Market Cipher. And like and subscribe. And I'll do an update in the VIP Discord on this little play here that we're looking at.